Right, so we started recording.
Yeah. Everyone gets to have those annoying cramped backs. You're not sleeping comfortably. This thing's really not meant for this many of you. Thank God it can carry your weight. Thank you God, thank it. We're gonna do when we get to your house is shower.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably a good idea. And how many weeks since we've actually, done anything with hygiene?
Most people do it every night, but hey. Hmm. I think we need to try and fight the giant monster in the sky, right? Please fight, please fight.
DM actively
Damn it!
trying to kill the party.
Why does nature respect physical disparities when it comes to predatory creatures? Needs to be more like humans. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'll stab you.
You see that literally living volcano? We're gonna capture it.
Yep. So, Bonnie has to spend the entirety of the morning on the third day, finding an appropriate place to land.
We can't just land on top of the guild hall.
We're not going to the guild hall. Bonnie wants to go home to see her parents. They actually get some fresh air that's not moving at several hundred feet a second.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And no, definitely not. Especially in like that capital, they have magical cannons specifically designed to prevent aerial invasion. Do not, do not land anywhere on top of structures. Follow the lanes. Like you'll find out. So I can tell you now. They actually do have because flying transports exist a lot more than you think or know. They have specific lanes of flight that have different little indicators thanks to Magitech that lets you know which way to go if you're going with what kind of thing that you're using. A living creature like this that's a mount that belongs to the guild will go towards the guild and land in the appropriate area. You can't just fly in the middle of the city. It'll get shot by basically the best I can describe it is a magical plasma cannon. That's not really a cannon infers that it'll launch a projectile. It's more like a beam weapon. Consistent continuous pain rather than a lot of pain. It's just pain. Oh, cool. It gets worse. It gets significantly worse. Ah! And you're dead. Actually, technically, one of those cannons that shoot you, you would probably die instantly because it's physically far diameter. Anyways, moving on from that. Hey, somebody go fight the buildings. Never mind. I want to calculate the damage. I have a sheet right here. What it could theoretically do.
Do the buildings fight back?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, we're flying through the air still, right?
Well, you're on your way down. Very slow, a very slow descent, but yes.
Okay. Does everyone just, have all their belongings stuffed in a corner, or are they, keeping their things to themselves?
Mob keeps everything in his inventory except his giant
That's
hatchet.
pretty much what Beatrice does. She keeps it in her inventory, keeps it out of everyone's way.
He likes his giant hatchet to be out. He wants to intimidate people. The best way I can describe it is take a meat cleaver and then make it the size of a fucking battle axe. It has to. I have to express that it looks like a meat cleaver. It works for him. I'm gonna chop you.
Is that what he uses in battle too?
That's his main weapon. Is his basically giant. It looks like a giant meat cleaver, but it's a very functional, dangerous weapon.
That's what I thought.
Okay, if I could describe it, it has it's about 5-ish feet tall. Got about 3 foot of handle straight. Then it kind of starts to curve back, and that's about a foot, and then it curves straight again, where all the head is kind of just attached, and it's got a very broad cleaver-like head to it, except it has a beard in the regard, but not a curved beard, a very straight down kind of beard that just kind of comes down. So realistically, it's set up in a way so instead of having the head up at the top, it's more like the head of the weapon is in line with its center of gravity. It's that physically the head has been made that physically big. Even though it's all kind of sort of form crafted as one weapon, and the best way I can describe it is fucking magically bonded to itself so it doesn't break. Um, it's a very effective weapon. It's quite large and intimidating. That's the whole point of Mob's weapon. What's most interesting is it's a hand-me-down weapon that his father gave him, and 99% of the time, you probably wouldn't know it until Mob decides it's unwieldy, and it actually fucking turns into a bracelet because it's a cursed weapon, kinda.
Interesting.
It's
That
that's less to the nature of the weapon on its own, and more like a thing that you can do is if you have a main weapon, you can technically turn it into a accessory at the same time. It basically it's its quick equip state is you can make it something that's physically on your person at all times and equipped, but it has a different appearance, and you actually have to technically activate it to get it to be the normal weapon. You just can't be like something weird or like you can't make like, oh, my earring is my gun. Oh, you probably could if you were actually no, you probably could if you were determined enough.
I don't know what would be stopping you from like reaching up and grabbing your earring.
It just would be that'd be weird. It's like, yeah, hold on, let me get my earrings off. Oh shit! Yeah, what now?
hold my weave.
The fucking flail. I mean, yeah, you can be ghetto with your it doesn't really have a word. I still haven't thought of like a term to describe this, but it's a state that a weapon can be imbued with that's completely utilitarian and has no bearing on its combat ability, but it's more for preference of person.
um, I think it when it comes to armor, it's typically called layering when you change the appearance of something, but you have a different set's stats. And it's just so that
um,
like people who min max a certain attribute don't look like clowns.
yeah, I've also heard it as transmogrification,
There's
and
that
I
too.
think a couple of different games. I know for sure in World of Warcraft, but I think there are other games that call it the same thing.
I've heard it called fashion in one game.
Yeah, I've seen it as fashion and all that. just appearance ones. And they got a number of different names for it.
There was a really old game I played once that called it Disguise, confusingly enough. I disguise this sword as a ring. What?
Anyways.
It's like, wait, what?
I have no idea.
I
It's probably
punch,
not.
and then
Might
there's
smell
like a
like that.
3-foot slash.
See, that's the thing. You can't make physical contact and have it magically transition. Mid-attack, it would have to go from whatever its accessorization, that's what we'll call it, is to its weapon state. Accessory state, weapon state.
That works.
It ties into the quick equip.
I'm just imagining, like, in Monster Hunter Rise, there's a sword and shield weapon where the shield is basically just a bracelet, so it makes it look like you're just fucking punching monsters in the face whenever you do a shield bash.
Mm.
It's great.
IS Monster Hunter Rise. Because Monster Hunter World stopped being popular. And you blame them. I mean, you still didn't give us the legit Chris. I don't know, actually. They might have added it. I can just Google it and find out.
I don't have a machine that can run, so I put up with the content of Rise. It's good content. It just kind of gets a little boring after a while.
See, I knew it. Fucking lying bastards. The Geochris never got added. They were supposed to be in there. Instead, the last cool thing they added was Kulva. And then, oh look, collab. No original content. Zenogre. Okay, I will abdicate. I fucking love the Zenogre. Like, don't get me wrong. I do love the Zenogre. It's fucking awesome. But, like, did they really add anything else to MHW other than the Zenogre? Because, like, I legitimately can't.
This is the part where I get punched in the head, isn't it?
Well, regardless, moving back on. You're slowly landing. Then again, they added the Banbaro, the bitch. They added the Nargacuga. I'll give them that, and the Tigrets. You know what? They added something. It's just, I think the Tigrets was.
Well, the major
I don't know, the
achievement
Nargacuga.
World did was it opened up the map into one, like, actual big area instead of smaller sections.
True.
You don't have to track monsters anymore.
All right. So I think the coolest thing that they probably added was the Namiel. I'll say that because the Namiel Elder Dragon is awesome. I think the Namiel is completely unique to Monster Hunter World too, because I don't remember seeing it. Was the Namiel in any other Monster Hunter?
Nah.
So yeah, that's what I thought. I think that's, yeah. So that was something that they did. Actual new content, not content from one of our 80 other games that we're calling new, even though it's existed for 6 years. Okay. So you guys are having like that weird feeling of I want to vomit because that's what happens when you go on a parabolic.
It's like we're going down.
It's like the first descent of a roller coaster, except for hours.
Oh no, it only takes you about 10 or so minutes. Then you start stabilizing out. And Bonnie gives you a warning that it's happening again, and then another 10 minutes of descent, and then finally feel what feels like this creature landing.
And then you're descending again.
It's burrowing now.
It's
Ah, what is this?
Alright, so we're presumably landed. I was going to get up and stretch and then have a look outside.
Oh, that was good. Sorry. I needed a burp. Uh, it's kind of awkward. You know you landed, but you're like 99% certain you weren't promised that you would land in a grove of peaches.
This is not bad.
Did anybody bring a bottle of wine?
I did not.
Is there some? Kevin's gonna root around, see if he can find some in the. Yeah, well,
There,
anywhere.
there's nothing. They pretty much just provided you with breads and soups. I'm just kidding. It's from Nemanthia. There's like 7 bottles of wine in the fucking cabinet.
Okay, we have
There's
something
more
to.
wine than there's more wine than solid food provided by the guild.
We've got something to apologize to the farmers with.
Yay! Apology booze.
Realistically, it depends on what kind of crop you just destroyed, but most farmers are typically okay with that, but a lot of them aren't.
I guess it kind of depends on how quickly it can recover.
Yeah, like if you land in a wheat farm that's like just about to get harvested, well, you just fucked up that entire area. Whereas, like, if they just planted it, I don't think they care all that much.
It's like, it'll grow back. Or if you happen to knock down an orchard or something.
Bonnie will crawl their
An
way back
entire
through that
orchard.
little door. It's a little door. Alright. Well, I suppose that we're here now.
Nabai will step through the door, I suppose.
Yes. You notice that it's not a giant peach grove, not like one of those giant monstrosities that entire fucking like forest are knocked down for, but it's a few hundred yards of grove. And you did land on what looks like crop, but thankfully they look like they're just saplings. So they'll be fine. They weren't really grown enough to take too much damage. And the plague griff is hesitant to try and eat the sweet thing. It's smelling at a lot of them, but it's not doing it.
Doesn't know how to feel about it yet.
It's like, nah, this is not what I want.
You do have what looks like a
Tongue
lot of
touches the outside
workers
of
emerging from the grove out of fucking curiosity.
Just from,
They're
like,
like, what the hell just happened?
popping out of the woodwork, literally.
You got a couple humans, some elves, some orcs, other what looks like some more demi-humans. You got what looks like a nice caprica and a porcelain. Look, there's a pig person and a goat person and a shark person. And a volt. Oh my god, yes, the fucking Viperas are psychos.
As all.
Uh, thick gun. Bonnie will slide out, and there's a collective yay! I fucking can't find my cheer sound effect.
Is that what you've been looking for this whole time?
I've been looking for it for like 3 days. I just can't find it.
Isn't
I'll
there
find it or I'll make a new one. Don't worry. I'll figure it out.
you'll just say yay in various tones and layer them.
Yeah, I'll just yay! Yay! Woo! We're gonna have that outlier that doesn't even go with the normal sound that everybody else is doing. Yay! Gonna have the one who sounds a little slow. Yeah! The one who's too enthusiastic, and then yay.
That's probably the owner.
And
Well, Beatrice would make her way out. Yeah, she'd make her way out fairly easily, and just
Oh.
offer help to others.
you're gonna be a good Samaritan. Help people. Are you? Okay, that's good. Glad that you have.
How
Proper
dare
rating.
you be a good Samaritan? You're such a good person.
Aggressive head pats.
Who's good?
that kind of grunting affection where you're not really sure if they're being sarcastic or not.
Exactly.
Why are you like this?
All right. Bonnie will explain. Okay. So we have. They'll pull an elf to them. This is rain lemon, lemon twig or lemon fig. I don't remember. And then you have that is that's urchin. He's being not an urchin. He's a caprica. And then we have Cecil over there. The Cecil, they're a nice person. And then we have Helio and Out. The the para, the crazy one, uh, he's Plume.
Hmm.
These are family, not biological, obviously. Disparity and they'll look at the group and then look at themselves. Genetics.
Kevin would step out after a moment, then having heard, and just kind of give a wave. Hello.
And Beatrice will wave at each of them in turn.
We'll let them get back to this, and we'll take the polygraph up to the house.
Yeah, having picked up on this being Bonnie's home, or at least farm, Bonnie's family farm, Kevin is now going to hold back from eating one of the peaches. Just like, unless offered. Some rando totally would yoink.
Urchin, yeah. All right. It literally just turning around, and Bonnie says, "We'll take them up to the house." Then I'm like, "Where's the house?" And you turn around, and about another 100 yards behind you, it's a two-story home, but not just. It's more like a two-story manor. Bonnie said that they came from humble beginnings. Starting to feel like that they have a very different view of humble.
Well,
He's also noticed that there are actual, like 8-foot walls around this grove. You're currently following Bonnie, and the Plague Griffiths following along menacingly close to the group. You can hear a loud snarl as it snatches up a field rodent with scary speed with that neck and jowl, and just kind of eats it while it walks.
Must be a big
Beatrice
rodent
will
for the
keep her
dog to deal
hands
with.
to herself. She does not want to get bitten. She would like to pet it, but she doesn't want to get bitten.
This is a reasonable response.
The closer you get, the more you realize. No wonder Bonnie's used to certain things. Bonnie was a fucking rich kid.
Mons is doing well for the family.
This is a 2-story house, so it looks like it's got fucking 30 windows on the fucking second floor.
That's quite impressive.
Quite a lot.
They've got a
Beatrice
nice
will
little.
take this between the house and the critter. I have no drink. I must fix that.
They'll fix. They got themselves a nice little veranda. It looks like a gazebo that's made of stone. Most of the sculptures and stuff in the backyard are made of stone. There's even looks like a family statue Mons had crafted himself. And it's quite large, and it acts as the centerpiece for the backyard fountain at the right by the edge of the deck that leads into the house. The house, home. Surprising how he can get that much detail with them fingers. Considering that they're big.
Okay, did.
Hi. Ha!
That's better.
Tasty.
Chewy.
Yes.
Gross.
What?
Gross. Just enjoy your phlegm.
It's pronounced phlegm. Thank you.
Fleegum.
Okay, well, I'm sorry
Anyway.
we're so stupid, by the way. It's just part of our genetics.
You orange retard. Get out, cat! Make stupid noises in the background.
Maybe now you can meet oregano.
Oregano?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like the spice? Ow, why'd you hit me, Sin? It's contextual, you idiot. Oregano's always relevant.
It does liven up pasta dishes.
Oregano is my handmaid, you idiot. Oh. The hell are they named oregano? Technically, it's oregano. Oh, okay. I forgot to add the pretentious to the accent. Sin will just do that, a Sin that he does and point, and then Mob will look over, very curious at this. Not sure what they are. They look like maybe the first time you've. Oh, it is the first time you realize fairies exist. They're not small though. She's quite large.
Beatrice is a little bit excited because I don't think she's met one before. Why the
And
hell
she's
is it dark?
about about the. I mean, it's because she's a Spriggan. That's why she has, black wings.
Oh, oh no.
I just meant in my room.
Oh,
Apparently, I have gotten into the shady hours.
I was just gonna be curious. How the fuck did you know that she had dark anything?
So it just suddenly got dark in my room because the sun went behind the trees. I might have to close my window a little bit. It's a little chilly. All right. Anyway, problem solved.
Congratulations.
So, like, what's it smell like here? Described how it
Apparently,
looks, but like, what's the weather doing? What's it sound like?
the weather's fair. There was a sound of quite a lot of insects, but there's a grove not too far away, obviously. You're going to have that. It's temperate, slightly humid, not enough to be a problem, but you can notice the humidity. It has overcast. There is a very small but occasional gust of wind. Outside, it has a moderate pollen count, but thankfully, it has a large number of what you assume are lilacs coming from somewhere upwind.
Oh, pretty.
So it
Or at
smells
least
good.
was it.
But when you get inside, it smells very clean and kempt, and also has a very unique scent, one that you might not find elsewhere. But it does have a very cinnamon-like scent in the air, very light amount of it due to the strength of cinnamon being able to overpower. So it's just enough of it has been mixed into some sort of fragrant material and spread around that it lingers but doesn't oppress. Of course, that could
Yeah,
very much.
just like a little bit goes a long way.
There also smells like hints of buttermilk and vanilla in the air. That also could be a fairy standing there patiently waiting for, you know, whatever they're supposed to be doing. And Bonnie just kind of gives a shoulder bump to the nearest person to try and explain that you should, you know, hand them any coats or something.
Huh.
This shit's fancy.
So Beatrice is going to blink a couple of times, and then she's going to pass her coat off to oregano.
Oh,
How does
alright.
John know?
I guess Naibai is going to take their heavy leather remnant uh, chest piece off. It's just like there's nothing under it. It's just her boobs all wrapped up. So she just kind of hands that over, just following along by example.
Yeah, let's see. I was gonna find out which of Beatrice's shirts she was wearing. Alright, let's find out.
Bonnie will let Naibai know that you can keep your armor on if you want. We can put it somewhere for you. You don't have to take it off. She's just trying to collect things meant for weather and or comfort, such as coats, scarves, things like that.
Kevin will take silent note of this and unequip his plate. Just that gray short sleeve shirt.
So that doesn't involve armor?
You can wear it if you want. You have specific people that are live-in guards. They don't often take their armors off. No, it's fine.
Alright. So the dice have determined that Beatrice is wearing her maroon shirt.
Comfortable.
Yes, and uplifting apparently.
Okay.
Naibai will ask if there's a changing room then.
They're going to nod. They will look at Bonnie, who will give them a nod, and they'll gesture for you to follow them quite a bit away from the back door towards the guest changing room down here on the bottom floor.
Alright. Naibai is going to change into their cotton clothes.
But they are putting all of the coats right across the hall from one of the, it looks like 3 changing rooms for guests in a coat room of some kind.
Beatrice, for her part, is going to be wearing her brown cotton skirt to match her top. It's not a perfect match, but it goes well.
Oh yeah, and while Naibai is changing, she's gonna suck on that succubus candy that she was given. And then when she's done changing, she's gonna put it back in the wrapper and back into the inventory.
I guess. I wonder if anything will happen to Nightby. Apparently, yes.
Oh,
Just
okay.
a little suckle. Just a little suckle already making boobs kind of tender. They feel a little bigger. Probably your imagination or the fact that you've been airborne and you haven't really been able to feel your chest.
Probably just her imagination. If anything, she would want us a thinner waistline, but bigger hips.
Andy works in a mysterious way. Plotting Dice. I know what you're doing, Dice, and I approve. Keep it up. Okay. Good work out there, champ. It's basically me right now on my dice. With what it's doing in the background. Okay. Once Nineby's fetched from the little guest changing room, they'll have to be taken somewhere or to go join you. But whilst Naibai was changing, you were introduced to another member of, I guess you could say, 8 staff? Oh, hey, burgers are done. Damn, that felt good. That was a good burp. And drank soda. Maybe it was all the Buffalo products is what's making me burp. You know, that's probably what's doing it. Okay. You were kind of a lot of you were surprised by a gentleman named Murnaz. Kind of came out of nowhere. It's frighteningly so, and he's tall and slender. He's very polite and smiles. He has bright red hair though. And he doesn't really open his eyes much around you. He'll just kind of gesture you to follow him, even asking you to follow me.
Beatrice will follow him. He's a good and polite guy.
Time to follow suit.
Sure, let's just follow the mysterious guy that must have come out of the ceiling or something. Now what the hell, I can't. You were all guided towards. Looks like. I guess the best way to describe it is a sitting room. There you can see comfortably sitting on the couch, enjoying themselves. Looks like tea and cheeses, whilst talking to other people that you haven't met. One of them is definitely some sort of maybe an adventurer. You don't know. They have a sword, and it's just kind of resting in its wrappings against their side while they sit there enjoying themselves a hot glass of tea. Actual glass, not a cup. And the uh, husband. Yes, she is very pretty brunette. Pawnee's small mom that still makes people question how will look back from their seat on the couch and gesture for you all to come and sit on one of the various seats between the other half of this large couch or one of those, loves those little seats over there, perhaps that seat over there, that other couch. Looks like you fit at least 15 fucking people in here comfortably on these fucking seats.
Beatrice is going to take a seat on one of the couches.
I think Naibai will sit next to them.
Rajano. Rajano? Ernest? Please go prepare dinner. As you wish, madame. Come, Rajano. Vi ska börja köra here. The Spriggan, about 5 feet tall, and this lanky ass 7 foot tall motherfucker. And a walk. He has a very impish walk to him. You're not certain how to feel about him. You don't know if it's menacing yet or what, but you don't know. He's not. He doesn't look like he's normal. That's enough of a reason to judge him. All right. So whose bright idea was it to land in the grove? Kevin,
Kevin
because he's
looks
the
back to looking
adult.
forward to. I don't speak bird, thank you.
It's not bird. They're speaking to Manthian. It's very simple. Maybe you should get. Not to,
Good for
because.
you.
No, it's not good for me. My father made me learn it before I was 9.
Well, good for him then. I don't speak it. That's the point.
Have a kid. Let you torture him. Sorry, Sin. Sorry, ma'am. Argumentation aside, I'm assuming the only two that can speak Nemanthian might be him and Bonnie, so that must mean that Bonnie decided to go ahead and plan coordinatedly. At least you didn't crash. You know how your father would feel about you crashing. Happy. You'd want to know how it felt. Always been a slight bit unhinged, really.
Delightful, isn't he?
Love him to death. Oh, right. Tea, mini a cheese, and or cracker, if you'd like.
Take you up on some of the cheese.
I wouldn't mind some crackers.
Beatrice would have some tea and a little bit of cheese, and she would be very thankful about it.
Mm. I'll go do that in a minute.
Carriage.
What is it?
I think we left Fiona in the carriage.
No, he's with you. He's been getting drug around
Oh.
by the other members of the party in the background who are doing their own thing.
They're good people for taking care of the drooling cowboy.
Yeah, that is part of why Beatrice helped pull out, so that everybody could get out. Not, face.
Well, my manners aside, let's see. Are you children doing well? Do you need, a place to rest, some medicine? You look a little pale.
I think some of us are not exactly used to thing, but we're doing fairly well.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. Was she there at the event that they had? I think she was.
Yeah, she was
Where all
there
the
after you got
families
back to your dungeon.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah.
So Beatrice is going to. It is nice seeing you again.
Don't worry. Puppy won't be done. Anyways. It's odd. It's like the smaller one of these guests who's enjoying themselves, enjoying your company alongside Bonnie's mom. Looks like the security in the large one who seems to be some sort of. You think they might be an ogre. It's an ogress, technically. How do I describe it? Ever try to see somebody who's a size too big, fit in a size too small clothing?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, since nobody has anything to fill the open air, that is Lady Uro. I'm sure you're curious. She is an ogress. She is also a legitimate lady, has land titles, owns a farm or two, or some farmland, and also, I believe, a small textile facility of some kind. So keep that one in mind if you ever need fabric. It's probably sweet up here. And then the smaller gentleman here, who is a you they'll just look at the gentleman who looks like you can definitely tell his head is shaved. He has what looks like a rune on top of it. He just kind of casually looks up from stuffing a very large stack of cheese and cracker in his mouth. That is Valugra. He is our head of security. He was the one who informed me that something was circling above, and wanted to ask if I should permit him to cut it down or not. Told him no, especially once they gave me the little bit of that view using a monocle to see that it was not an invader, somebody coming to steal your father's, I don't know, name something.
Oh, it's not like they could get away with it. Aside from being highly well or very well armed and staffed, I would assure or would assume that Mons would deal with them.
Well, they always try it when Mons leaves for business, which he's currently doing right now.
Hmm.
He was commissioned by the High King to make a commemorative statue for the new princess that they've adopted. So he went to take the few pieces that he made and an unhewn piece, because they wanted the privilege of seeing him in carve in person. He agreed that he would a few times. Left a few days ago. He'll be back in. Knowing him a week, because he said he's going to not take his usual path, but I know him. Can't help himself. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that he got such a such a illustrious job.
I'm just glad that he's actually a good person and not just an annoying asshole pretending to be a good person. It was so weird actually being in love and married to someone who's both gentle and capable and not just lying about their things, but genuinely passionate about what they do. So many people like to lie about things that they like, and it's quite interesting for me. Keep track of it all. Anyway. Well, there's plenty of guest rooms if you want to go and put your things away and rest for a day or two. Busy, adventurous life and all that. There's also communal bath if you want to take one there, and there's a private bath. Of course, you might have to wait your turn to use it. Or you could just sit here, 'cause we're just going to sit here for a few hours. Pretty much all I do. Relax and eat cheese. I do love cheese. So does Velugra. Huh?
I must admit, I'm a fan of it too.
Velugra? Water. Water.
You got too much.
I will offer them a water skin from their inventory.
I'll happily drain your water skin and give it back. Well, that kind of caught me by surprise. I did crackers by my mouth up. Anyways, hi.
Kevin would nod. Hello.
It's
Hi.
nice.
Oh, you've been conditioned. Anyways. Yeah, thanks for not being invaders. I have to cut people in half from down here.
I certainly appreciate not getting cut in half. That would be a spoiler for the day.
Oh. Shit, that is an inconvenience. You mind your business, suddenly my fucking leg is gone. Wow. You speak like you know about that. Oh yeah, I have been dismembered before. It hurts so bad. But I got better. Anyways, I'm gonna go shower and then probably, I don't know, stalk your chefs.
Don't harass them.
No, no. A good chef can cook under pressure. Sin will
Good chefs
sigh
are
and
also very good with
follow.
knives. Don't become part of the dish.
I shall clean too, and then try to mitigate the damage that he's going to cause. Stone balls are not made no punch through ironwood, be my guess. Another one of Mons' eccentricism. Wanted the walls and the supports to be made with ironwood so they'd be nice and sturdy. That way, he said, could lean on them without breaking them under enormous weight.
Very forward thinking.
Most of the structural load-bearing walls have a shade of ironwood on either side of a central pillar of stone of some kind. I believe he used granite for most of the material density. He's always thoughtful. Oh, Bonnie, while you're here, you could really have Fluger take more lessons. Fluger hurts. Point of the lesson.
Was she taking lessons in?
Pain. Quite really, actually. Most and definitely pain. They hurt. He hits hard. Fluger hits exceptionally hard. Sparring is good, I know. Sparring with the Lucra, because he's an instructor, can increase my level the more I do it, I'm aware. But he hurts. I'm used to getting punched by monsters and things. Things that just want to break my bones. The Lucra feels like he wants to rip my limbs asunder. Fair. It's technically it's just how I fight, specifically. Thankfully. Use a wooden sword. More trick. Hey, I'm assuming
Yeah,
everybody's
going
gonna
out for
sit on the
lunch.
couch.
I was just trying to listen real carefully.
You sit here and talk, but Bonnie is gonna go get clean. Pretty much everybody from the party is gonna go get clean, except for, well, now, I don't know, Drilling Fion's being dragged off to go get clean. That's pretty much just you and Kevin sitting there.
Well, Beatrice also is interested in getting clean after the trip. So she'll do that.
No. Kevin will stand himself up. I'm not entirely sure if a parrot can sweat, but air travel is not my favorite. Which way was the bathhouse or the bathrooms again?
The communal bath or the restroom facility? That way you're not relying yourself on my silt and other things.
The communal bath.
And they'll snap a finger, and then that's when that tall, lanky motherfucker will reappear. I was just like out of fucking nowhere. Yes. Man, dear, and take them to the communal bath. That way they can get clean, and fetch them a comfortable robe and cloth. Clean cloth, dry, extra large because they have a lot of body. Follow me this way. Would you be kind?
And he'll nod and follow along. Thank you.
You were guided to the communal bath.
Oh, yes.
Every other member of the party except Bonnie, well, and maybe Beatrice, because she would have followed Bonnie, had to also be wrangled by by the little Spriggan because they kind of wandered too far or went the wrong way.
The house is big.
Yes, it is. It's quite big. Oh! Fuck! Leg.
Good morning.
Cramps, huh?
Ah, fuck, just for a second. Okay, I'm good. Alright.
It's not the one on the big toe.
Everybody can get themselves clean and bathed, dressed, and provided clothes. They're nothing too fancy. Okay, I say that. They're fancy by most people's standards. They're nothing too fancy, though. They're comfortable. Swear some of them made of, like, velour or silk or something expensive.
This is
Ladies
the
were
knife.
provided with nice little gowns to put on, and the men were provided with very comfortable suits. And nothing aggressive, though. Nothing like no 3 pieces. 2-piece suit.
Kevin's taking a mental note of this. He didn't know they made as nice clothes for my parents. Because typically you only see them in, well, blood.
All of your bathing and relaxing is cut short several hours later by the call of food. God, the kitchen.
Ah,
Oh my- It's legitimately like there's the kitchen and there's the dining room. Yes. Now the other half lives with the kitchen out of sight, so peasants don't have to be seen cooking.
Haven't we already been in a noble's house?
Yeah.
yeah, but this noble's house has or this more higher standard house is considerably less rapey.
Is it?
I mean,
Yes.
thus far.
So far, yes.
Okay, I know Murzon is kind of scary because he just kind of comes and goes, but he's a butler. They don't conform to physical standards of reality.
Standards of reality.
Yeah, a
As
good
soon as one
butler is
becomes a butler, they
always
can transcend reality.
because a good butler is always there when you need him.
He arrives precisely when he means to.
Exactly.
Damn it.
That's what you're saying is a good butler is a wizard.
Yes, the one he chose to pick on is fucking Kevin. And the way he does it is, as he fetches everyone, he fetches Kevin last. And as he's walking along, he's humming some sort of tune. Not sure what it is, though. It's... But that's not really what is fucking with you. It's not the fact that he may or may not be whistling what sounds like Twisted Nerve as he walks. It's the you swear you see a tail just casually swaying in a pant leg.
Hmm.
He gives you an inquisitive when he hears you.
To which he replies, "Hmm."
Mm-hmm.
That could be its own fucking language.
It is.
He'll just stop once you get to the kitchen where everybody else has been corralled against their will.
He
Yeah,
would give a
yeah.
courteous nod. Thank you.
Mm.
Gonna have to look into or learn more about this one.
Learn more about who now exactly?
Hmm. No one in particular. Don't mind me. Thank you for pointing me around. The house is quite labyrinthian at times. So you'll kind of separate and take a seat at the table.
Sin will just reach over. Yeah, there. I understand your concern. Oh, the
Most of
joys.
the other. Hmm?
Oh, just the joys of having normal eyes like yours. Things I envy. You don't have to see everything.
No, somehow I knew I was missing something. Riddle me this then, Sin. He has a tail, doesn't he?
I have wings. Tail. Common. Have tails. There are creatures of other varieties that just roam casual. The tail
Fair,
bother
fair.
you that much?
No, just it's really nothing. Just curious. You say you see
Beatrice
more, and I can't
has, I
see
believe,
much.
decided to mess with Kevin as well. I have a tail. I imagine I'll have
Very well,
several more as I get older.
Part of me hopes
it'll
they
be just
stay.
as lovely, if not more so.
I have a tail.
To stay short, little poop balls. It probably won't happen, but a man can dream of it. A gaggle, if you will.
I gotta step away again. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay. Quick, we'll serve all the delicious
It's a big
food
gift for
while he's
drinking too
gone.
much water.
Food will be served. There's a lot of food. That's not what's important. I mean, it's good for you. What's important is you can talk to each other. Just talk. Talk over dinner. Be normal. There's no YouTube. You can't just do that for dinner.
So, let me think of what Beatrice would ask everyone. I suppose she would be curious about how they're enjoying the weather, so she would inquire about that. She's going to look at the others. So, how are you liking the weather here? Rather enjoying it.
I find it quite pleasant. Though I always found it quite pleasant. That's one of the reasons I was always happy to grow up here. How about yourself?
It's comf-
Do you like the weather, or is it not rainy enough?
It is amicable.
That's good.
It's preferred to the way that the weather was at my home station.
But very rainy and wet.
It could be at times. Most of the time it was very... If we had a dry spell for too long, the rain wouldn't soak into the ground. We had flash floods often.
Those can be problematic. We occasionally have heavier weather like that here. It's not season for it, thankfully. Otherwise, flying here would have been nigh impossible because once it starts storming in Amanthea, being of its close proximity to the ocean in most places, it storms quite thoroughly. Oh,
There, there are times when we get some pretty rainy spells out by the moon. I imagine it's a little bit cooler and stuff where Beatrice lives.
Probably.
where they live, it actually it doesn't storm heavily. It does have frequent rain showers, but it is cool overall.
I kind of figured it would be something like that. So I got a similar thing going on here where the rain kind of backs up against the mountain and it just kind of rains all the time.
Yeah.
You don't really get storms here.
So once we return, what would you all like to do? Is there anything specific that we're not doing that anyone wants to get out of the way?
I'm almost done, so hopefully that won't take too much out of her schedule. And she'll
Sure.
kind of look at the others and see if they have anything specific that they were going to do. Like,
Nightmare, is there anything that you want to do? I see.
Man, my internet sucks.
It's okay. Head pads.
Eh.
Okay, I gotta pee. All right, I gotta pee bad. I can't hold it anymore. I'm sorry. I tried. I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna get all my peeing and food situation sorted, and I'll be back. Oh my god.
Water
All
break.
right, everybody, this is Jack Natural. Turn it down.
Yes, I believe uh, everyone was asking about things that need to be done when they return.
Okay, I'm back.
Okie doke.
Okay, now I'm actually back. What is going on? The Twitter.
Thing and stuff.
Absolutely nothing, because I posted about dildos. That's the only time anyone ever actually interacts with anything I post. Oh, you're making sex toys? Better actually reply to them. Maybe they need a tester. No, we don't need a tester. Oh, I've got this great idea. No, we don't need your idea. Can you make this thing that you already make but at a different size? Do you have $1,000? Well, no. Why does it cost that much? I just want the knot to be a different size. You're asking for a completely new mold. Why is it a new mold? Just make the knot smaller. You don't understand. Ah. So, how's your week been, Ivy?
Kind of a clusterfuck. Having to do everybody's job for him and all that. Spent the entire morning rearranging the entire back room, moving all the pallets of crap around just so I could get them out of the way so I could make a bale of cardboard because that crew doesn't bother to do that. You know, so basically doing everyone else's job.
Wonderful.
And then, of course, since I was busy doing that and putting away all the supplies and basically stuff that somebody else should have done before I even got there today, um, somebody else could have been, retrieving carts and, know, picking up things and restocking things. No, nobody did that. So I get out there to check on something. Oh, we don't have any cart at all. So I had to go and do that. And it's like, okay. So yeah, that's just basically one day. And every other day is just like get to go back, do the same thing tomorrow and the next day. And then I get my vaccine, so I'm gonna stay home and hibernate for a couple of days.
Sounds like a pretty decent way to spend some time. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in pain. Yeah. What a wonderful way to spend your evening.
Ah, yes, good way to spend your evening is in pain.
yeah. After my parents got their second dose, they were kind of miserable, kind of mild fever, feeling crummy and stuff for a couple of days. So I figured I would make sure I had the days I dose.
I'm gonna go catch it and bring it back to really test how strong Pfizer is.
Use the make sure it's the England or the Britain strand.
Ah, yes, the leaky asshole stream.
No, that's the Japanese one. That's why their tests are anal.
Awful and awkward. Feel bad for him.
Insert the Q-tip and spin the Q-tip 10 times. 10 times! Ah!
With a power drill. On.
And of course, there's somebody that's like, oh.
There's always
So
somebody
what
that makes it weird.
I'm gonna make it as weird as I can. Okay. Have you been talking to each other's characters whilst eating din din?
I went to go get a drink of water.
Oh, that's good.
I think I got the modulation tweaked here. No, yeah, I do.
So, Bonnie was asking everybody if they had things that they were going to do when they got back to Hall and such. Beatrice explained how she had a little bit of training to complete still.
Yeah, Kevin as well. A little bit of cross training.
A little bit excited. Going to be an actual dancer next, or very soon.
Yeah. Combat efficiency is going to go through the roof.
It is so interesting the fact that one end of this table, it's like it's like a normal long table most of the time, but when you get to the end, it's like half of one of those circular cafeteria tables just to accommodate room for Monza's seat, which, damn!
He a big guy.
And then you can just see Marianne happily sitting there, enjoying some of they wanted was some of the offered fish. Very big slab of what looks like some sort of creature. It's not normal meat, it's creature meat, not monster meat.
It's from a can.
It's from whatever the fuck was killed by the staff and turned into food.
Let's hope it wasn't one of the workers.
The parrot probably caught him.
All I know is it's some sort of fish. Smells like lemon.
Pre-flavored fish.
That's what Marianne's.
No, you just
They got
add the peppers.
pre-flavored beef in Scotland.
Glass of wine.
Well, Beatrice would go with whatever was recommended.
Sounds like a good option. Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
I would politely ask for some water.
Just a snap of the fingers, and then you can once again they just kind of pop up behind Kevin.
Just chosen Kevin to mess with. This is a new game.
Just he does his best to suppress the instinctual, fearful hood. Just like, fuck.
But do he, though?
It's worth noting though,
Oh,
they
yeah.
do have a pitcher of ice water that they just kind of walk over and slowly pour into Naibai glass. Yeah. Just water.
Does it do that thing where it continues to fill past the rim of the glass, like the glass continues, or is it just fill up?
Just fills past and just keeps forming a column of water the same size as the glass. Like, wait.
Yeah, exactly. Did you get these glasses from Omega Mart?
Shut.
Forward. Their overpour is quickly corrected by what looks like magic, causing the overpour to go back into the pitcher.
Fancy.
Oh, yes. Moderately discontented snake noises. This is why I don't mess with magic.
Will that be? Somebody meddle?
What was that last bit?
Oh, nothing. I just thought I heard somebody meddling around. Always do.
Stab them in the titty.
They were asking, what do you need?
Beatrice will glance at her meal and drink. I think I'm good.
Do you have a loaf of bread, toasted garlic, and butter?
They will give a small clap, and it takes about a minute before somebody comes through the doors. A loaf of bread. Butter.
Ah, yeah, garlic bread.
Tasty.
Obviously, Naibai can't finish the whole thing, but she will sneakily put like half of it back into her inventory for later. You got real quiet. Ah, God, now you're too loud. I could only equalize so much.
Meal recommendations. They are assuming. They seem to have recommended some kind of glazed chicken cutlet. Beatrice. Someone like Kevin, a very high protein piece of what looks like some sort of creature. Sure. It tastes good though. It tastes naturally sweet. Like a honey sweet though. Kinda like a citrusy sweet.
Meat is pretty sure it's meat. It's good.
My body was served a like a very small little plate of some kind of rice with a little bit of chives in it and some kind of seafood. Not a fish, possibly a shellfish meat that's been properly cut and cooked and added to it.
Small grains and essential nutrients. My favorite.
Despite him being creepy and surprised butler, he knows what he's doing.
he understands that Naibai basically has a golem for a brain. This meal contains all the essential nutrients you need to survive. Yes, good.
This is means for praise.
He could identify that Kevin was somebody who likes very dense, protein-rich foods, but also sweets. I can tell that
It was a
Beatrice greatly
curse.
appreciates any food, but he knew that she liked things that were slightly more spicy naturally, but had a good body to them, weren't very stout. I'm gonna grab your tongue and hold it down with flavor stout.
That's the best kind of flavor. Bishop.
You know what my favorite flavor is? Fear.
Comes back with a chicken that's still just losing its absolute mind before pummeling it on against the table. Here you go. Freshly feared chicken.
Ah, yes. They'll walk. And once they're no longer needed, Mirzan will just. You can hear them very faintly. Yeah. Oh. As they get further away, and you can just hear that.
No, I can't.
Exactly.
That's the point.
You can hear that creepy, that very low volume, just the Sones les matines, ding ding dong.
Wait, is he
Is he
saying
like a
ding
house
dang
spirit or
dong?
something?
He's
Yeah,
just
that's the actual lyrics for the ding dong part of that song in French. It's not ding dong ding.
Brother
Yeah,
John.
it's been years since I heard the French version.
Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, ding ding dong. It's literally just Brother John. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
brother. Are you
I remember the
sleeping?
translation.
Yeah.
I just know the song is ding dang dong because those are like the only semi-English words in it that I can remember.
Those are because they are onomatopoeia.
Exactly. And yet we all know America invented those. So they're all automatically English.
Well, yeah, but at least we can
Makes
blame
sense.
soccer on the British. Should you not? The British are actually why we
Great
call it
drama
soccer.
sport that it is.
No, it's like actually calling football everywhere else, and then calling it soccer here. That's because the British stupid asses back in like the fucking for the longest time they called it soccer to try and differentiate, and then they started calling it football because it was too American. Because Americans like, yeah, we're British. We don't want to be reminded that they like things too, because they're not
It
human.
hasn't
They're evil
changed them by
colonists.
your fighting force.
That face
And
when
again, thank you, France.
that face when America has older English than England.
Yeah, it's so
Sure.
true though. They didn't want to be like the Americans, so they changed their language.
Yeah, they made it sound fucking retarded.
They made them sound like even more pompous assholes than they already were. Well, okay, in some regions. Not all of them.
Mhm.
I can
No,
tell you
not
one
everything,
thing
but
that
like, fuck your dignity.
one thing their accent is amazing at is narrating nature documentaries. Because
Oh
you can
my
listen to them say
God,
anything,
fucking-
and you just straight up believe it's true.
Mhm.
This is Henry.
Mhm.
Henry just recently had an affair with his mate, and is now seeking another lover. Well, shit, Henry's gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Oh shit, here comes.
That's why I like. That's why I like Zeph Frank's nature videos. His true facts videos.
They're great.
Mhm.
That is how I beard.
The long-crested beard.
I love his ones about. I love the ones about carnivorous plants.
Yes, that was delightful.
Some people are too damn funny for their own good.
I especially liked the one about the ostrich. I don't know why. This isn't a picture of a cloaca. It's just
I really
fucking
don't believe you.
stock footage of a smoothie.
Or some sort of conversation going on at the end of the table. Bob and Faraji are having a conversation, an actual conversation, not an argument. Apparently, if you can listen quietly, or you can listen, not do anything, you can tell that it's Faraji legitimately talking to Mob about why. And then Mob very succinctly defending his point that he was unaware that emotional attachment and feelings of love were specifically barred if someone was of a different species whilst being a sapient individual.
A consenting sapient individual.
It's supposed to be normal. Supposed to be. I was under the assumption that I was a normal person from the beginning. Stop doing that! What? Stop with the articulation! No! Go back to screaming! It's normal. Oh. Oh. It custom me. Sorry. I act crass as a bored sociopath most of the time because of the fact that it's just a comfortable, natural way of speaking. Aggressive manner of talking. Mother. In actuality, I'm not entirely mentally unstable. I'm fully aware of the things I do. It's just, it's more of a role that's befitting of me, adventurer, and subsequently the group's tank. You have to think wildly to behave wildly. Most of the time, I wouldn't actually throw myself head first into those problems. No! All of this? Go back!
just stop
Fix!
it. Shut your entire face.
Stop it! No. Look at you!
Reaches
You
over
even.
and just puts
What are
his
you
face back in.
doing? I'm eating currently. Why? You're not. You're supposed to. You're not supposed to hold a knife like that, Raji. One must never hold a knife like a pin. Like this. Normal. Wealthy people eat normally. So you're not dining with actual royalty, though. Fair warning. In case we ever do. You should always wait for them to consume first. Remember, main dinner fork, salad fork, dessert fork, dinner knife, dessert knife, soup spoon, handkerchief, dessert glass, drinking glass, cleansing glass for your palate and wine. Yeah.
Twitchy eye karate noises.
Beatrice is going to kind of remind Faraji, you know, his father was a knight. Of course, he would know all of this better than anybody. As dignified as mother was.
Respiratory. Still. Possibly. Sustained damage that's lasting longer. Maybe I was struck by this weapon. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I don't like it. Why are you staying?
So,
Oh no.
Mob, when is it appropriate to have knees on the dinner table? Is that only a picnic thing, or?
Never unless you've been invited to some sort of orgy.
He's got a point.
I think I have to agree with him. Unless you're doing some sort of table dance, then I don't think that would be appropriate in most cases.
Just the end of the table. There will be no orgies at my dinner table that I'm not involved in.
Beatrice is just going to giggle.
Well,
So,
Naibai is
Bonnie,
going to turn to them. Well, you heard the lady. Invite her.
we should at least wait until want to try and behave like adults. That man. Oh no, please don't. No, not the images.
Was that Faraji again?
Both Faraji and Bonnie just please apparently bring these things up. That would be quite disturbing. It's really disturbing. Beyond disturbing. It's not normal. Stop it. The adults. Be mature.
What do you think they were just talking about?
Proper family. Arousing, you have to understand as guests, it's not our place to tell them where they can and cannot consummate their relationship at home. Yeah, go back to being impolite.
Beatrice is just going to pat his head and
Stop. You're the one who was always like, he's creepy.
well, he's not being crazy and creepy now. Well, I'm okay with this.
Oh, I see. So he stops being crazy. Now you want to fuck. Because you're like mom.
Well, I didn't say that. I'm just not afraid of him biting me when he acts like this.
This is my normal. It's true. He actually does act like it's quite frequently when me and him are alone. Yes, I do this a lot. It's when I feel comfortable and safe. In hindsight, we should Berlin happy. Bob has finally found you trustworthy enough to let his guard down.
Aw, how
Right.
foolish.
Bye.
Hmm?
I'm not afraid of someone smaller than my genitals.
Well, that was a fail. Well, Kevin shoots a good fair bit of water out of his nose. Just
Yes, Kevin. Just the handkerchief just offered from behind you. Please. Make sure you use
that.
this.
Thank you. How do you do
He'll
that,
connect the
anyways?
dots. There it goes.
Just
But always around when you have a question.
that. Thanks.
Bonnie will just kind of lean over the table and gesture Kevin in close. Kind of awkward because they're adjacent too, but
You're killing him. Just, fuck your
he's
Discord.
a
He'll.
demon.
Can't do it.
Yeah, I'm not the only one having Discord problems.
This has been a very good dinner. Getting to spend time with friends. So, Beatrice,
Yes?
it's been going steady.
I would say so.
I
Yeah.
think that's a yes.
Lots of people failing to do something they've done their entire lives, right? Swallow it.
Eating is hard.
He did not expect to get sidelined like that though by his friend. Yes. Well then, don't break his heart. Some reason that was. It didn't sound like it, but that was menacing. How the fuck? Faraji's looking at him with concern, like, what a veiled threat? What was that?
Raji is also questioning everything about life right now.
So
Yes,
Vision
because
is going to respond, I have no intention of breaking his heart.
Ensign, don't say a follower. They hurt me. Why? Did you? Because, Mom, you're too clever for your own good. I am not. I'm marginally quick at best. Even now. Do you see what I deal with all the time? Oh, I was just going to say, promise not to break your heart, so do your best not to break their spine. Times like these, I wish I could cut my ears off with no consequence like you. Not everyone can be as magnificent as I. Though Sin was kind of, uh, you know, fucking blindsided, there is a hint of smile and happiness in his words. It's just so weird, though. The dice paired them together as friends. It's just so odd to me.
It's one of those friendships where, like, you're not really sure why or when you became friends, but you just kind of are, and you accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of the best kind of friends.
It's like, I'm not sure how that happened, but it worked.
It's basically me and Jacob. We're not really sure, but it happened, and we're cool with it.
When did this exactly happen?
Well, like, some point.
Yeah, it's just one of those. Fuck it. This is a good thing.
Sometimes there just isn't a defining moment where you stare at somebody and say, did we just become best friends and clasp hands?
I fucking love Step Brothers. Okay, yep. I like how he got fucking.
I also like how he got fucking.
Alright. No, this is a dinner. Any more personal information anyone wants to share before Mob pries it himself?
Personal. I have 48
It's
ear piercings.
quite interesting. Do you have them for different occasions, like wedding rings and bracelets and such?
When it's a promise.
Ah, that's quite lovely. Having a physical memento of one's promises emotionally or spiritually is commendable.
And Naibai will lift up one of their base of their ears a little bit, and you can see they're all pinned in like rows, and actually like physically stopping her from being able to lift her ears like on her own without some sort of outside influence, like her arm.
Ah, fascinating.
So are they pierced in a way that holds them folded over?
So they're pierced very similar to like what's that thing? The where people go to get like their chakras pierced with the needles and the incense and acupuncture.
Acupuncture?
Yeah, it's like acupuncture, and it's like literally paralyzed the muscles that would normally control her ears, so they just kind of
That's
flopped over.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, if only Fiona was conscious enough to speak, I'm sure he'd enjoy the food. And also a minute to explain himself and find out. Oh, did you have fun when we did our little dungeon crawl mission, everyone? I quite thoroughly enjoyed it, even though I was gutted multiple times.
I thought it was exciting and very interesting experience. Rather fun.
it was a true test of my ability to keep up with combat and keep my allies healed at the same time.
I quite enjoyed that. Oh, it would have been preferably paired with Beatrice at the time, just to see the level of fear I should have ever I anger her.
It should be
There's
high.
definitely a reason why I'm breathing quite a lot afterward. My methods of attack end up messy.
As from what I've
Did
heard from Bonnie, she's savage.
Didn't know you could get blood out of a skeleton or a corpse that seems to have been dead for many, many, many decades.
And there's always a way to access more blood. It's just about your determination to do so.
Exactly.
Alright, I'll accept this. Thank you for giving me a moment and not ridiculing me for being concerned.
Oh, and after that first battle I had, Bonnie remembers the one with the corrupted dog. Oh, I bathed so many times. It felt so gross.
She's not quite used to the sensation of viscera over her body. You'll get used to it eventually. It's more alarming when it's your own, if we're being honest.
Yes, I would like to avoid that.
It's a gift that I have, and I really hope none of you ever try to copy. Except Faraji, that time I bit the finger off the tip of it. Did you say tip? But it was closer to up to the first knuckle. Yes, and likewise, Sin's stepmother healed it, so you're fine. Um, yeah. Was that an elaborate excuse for you to go stare at her boob? No, though. Hindsight, I probably could have done that a lot and physically maimed someone. Huh.
Don't give him ideas.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there are other reasons to use it. Or,
Yeah. Well, anyone have any questions that they want to ask while I'm here, not scaring you?
well, I don't know if it's too personal, but I was kind of curious to see how things were going with you and your lady friend.
Oh, her name is Ramia Abasir, but I just call her Fira. And it's going well enough, I suppose. That it's only been a few days, though. spent over half of the day, every day that I was there. Communicated quite thoroughly. They're an osmium, so obviously they might have to disappear at times, but that's fine. Very sweet. I like their laugh. I very thoroughly like the laugh. Their eyes. Stare at them for a while. The hair frames their face nicely. They have a very soft speaking. Makes me feel very happy. Mm. Very eloquent. Very well spoken person.
Well, I certainly hope there are many opportunities for you to see each other in the future.
There too. So I'm going to go invest in something they told me about, a communication apparatus so I can speak to them with frequency once we get home.
So that would be something much like Mother has. But she doesn't use hers very often. So apparently very disruptive to those sensitive.
About is I speaking?
Yes, something like that. Only it seems to be able to communicate across universes and everything.
I'm not certain about the extent of a communication device they told me about, though I don't know if it lets me talk from Ilvamar to Anthea, then I'm more than happy to spend funds on it. Of course, I'll need to get a new job or two. My party doesn't mind taking on a just with me.
Oh, I'd very much like to visit the capital city. Go do it.
That's where we're
That's
gonna
a
have to
fair
go,
point.
anyways. Capital of Ilva Romana, capital city. Yes, we'll have to go there because where we were, it doesn't have the aviaries big enough for plagiarists, but capital city does. Tomorrow or the day after, depending on how you all feel, we'll leave and head that way.
How long did this return?
It would probably be about. Let's see, he left 3 or 4 days ago. Definitely there by now. 2 to 3 days, probably, if things go smoothly, and if it sooner than that.
I suppose we'll see him another time.
Yes, same as always being busy, and having time for everyone. Not all the time, anyway, but we will always be there. Oh, I really don't mind putting you up for as long as needed. It's not like I'm running out of space in our home, and Mirzan is always happy to serve new guests. Plus, Orjano, she'll be happy to spend time with Bonnie like they used to when younger.
Beatrice will raise an eyebrow.
I will do a couple of eyebrow wiggles.
Some certain people at this table better stop with teasing very fast, or I'm going to show you why half of it had to be bolted back together. And let's try and not get Bonnie all riled up. Don't learn what happened last time when you could barely walk for a day.
Poor Ivi, they're just trying to fit in.
Oh, it finally kicked for Faraji. He was mostly concerned with the threat of getting hit with a table.
That's a reasonable concern, to be honest.
Yeah, see, Faraji has reasonable concerns.
Naibai
Alright,
has
the window
unreasonable
so I can
concerns.
hear over this lawnmower.
Like, if somebody unscrews the pommel from their sword and attaches it to a crossbow bolt, how much extra damage does it do?
To the person shooting it due to the extra weight and the bolt just fragging in their face? Or when the pommel actually somehow launches and hits them?
Oh no, you can definitely launch a pommel. It is not heavier than the regular ballista bolts.
There's actually a video, I think, by Todd's Workshop
Yeah,
that has pommel bolts, and they're fucking hilarious.
it freaking blows up a watermelon.
YouTube is recommending that for me recently.
That is probably horrendously devastating. I'll have to watch that now.
I think it does so much extra damage because the crossbow has to work harder to accelerate it because it's a little bit more mass that it's rated for.
So it has a longer time to import more energy into it, so it actually ends up hitting harder, despite moving probably considerably slower.
Something like that. It's something to do with force and speed
And meal
manipulation and all that.
Oh, it's
Or-
probably the whole thing, like the 9mm versus 45. One's
Yep,
one
literally
weighs
what I
more
was
than less.
literally what I was just whispering in the background like a retard. All right.
Question is, does it
Kill-
kill the soul?
Does it kill the soul?
Well,
I don't know. Would you be particularly devastated if you died to a fucking pommel?
Well, at least I would have been ended rightly.
Well, there you go. That's your answer. You have been ended rightly.
and then dinner's lovely, was lovely, but I think I'm going to retire to my guest room. Anyone who wishes to speak to me in private, please just come and go right ahead. I don't mind late night company as long as it's not someone trying to kill me. That usually brings me quite a great amount of pain. I'm not fond of that. Unless I'm working. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead.
Sleep does sound like a nice idea.
Oh, I forget. I'm actually having a hard time remembering what were the different species of workers you said worked here.
Dear, dear. Now you got a Porcinus, a Caprica, another Caprica, an Elf, a Para, and an Orc. Those are just the ones in the grove, though. That's what you're talking about.
Okay.
All over? Well, you'd have to find them.
Well, I was just gonna have Naibai ask for, like, some frosted yogurt, but, like, I was gonna ask for yogurt from, like, a specific species to see if, like, they actually had it or not. Oh,
Yes, you have challenged Murnaz.
yeah, basically, like, if there was a goat humanoid species working here, she would ask for them, or if, like, there was a cow person here, they would ask for them, you know, just to see if they actually had the balls to sell humanoid milk.
Well, you asked for you asked for a yogurt made with Caprica milk, and it does not take Murnaz more than an hour to retrieve it. He does, in fact, happily give Naibai their treat and guides them to their room to sleep.
Oh,
Naibai has a little
nice
bit
bearded
of
guy.
skip in their step as they go to bed.
Meanwhile, somewhere out there, there is a fucking caprica on a fucking barrel somewhere in that grove, fucked senseless with her tits hanging out.
The butler just stops time, goes out to the grove, bends them over a barrel.
No, it wasn't stopping time. That's why it took him an hour.
Oh, yeah, you did say it took an hour.
Come on. If you knew the work relations around here, there is a lot of female workers that want to fuck Murnots.
So it's more like they just walk out into the field. Alright, who's lactating?
That's basically what it is. Just working. Which one of you is currently producing any form of breast milk? Just
And I can
slow
imagine.
hand raise.
Then I can just imagine there was some bribing going. Fun time bribing. An
There are cow
exchange
people.
of goods and services.
Well, how do we know it wasn't an exchange of bads and disservices?
It's usually goods. It's a very good and a very good. It's a very good service when their fucking eyes are in the back of their head.
I'm back.
Other workers having to carry their ass off. Listen, he is a great butler. Never challenge him. Yes, the ultimate pairing. Take Murnaz to the dungeon that you were in to face Belvedere. Butler v. Butler.
I don't think we'd get to see very much of that combat.
Would be so cool to watch two butlers fight. Oh fuck, Murnaz is technically a demon butler. I love auto generation. It's so cool sometimes. Sometimes it's like, yeah, just normal background, fucking demon butler, yeah.
Well,
Fucking fairy maid, fuck yeah.
it can't be all crazy all the time, otherwise these situations aren't special.
Exactly. Kevin getting stalked. Even up till the point where he's just going to his room. Just Murnaz popping up to offer him a late night snack as he goes to sleep.
Hmm. You know, the dinner quite filling. Thank you, though.
Are you sure about that? It is a very rare triple chocolate pie with a graham crust, and even a very small whipped cream here, and a glass of cinnamon milk that I brought with me.
They got cinnamon milk.
Jiminy.
Though if you don't want it, I could happily take it to someone else. It's no
Well,
problem, really.
you did bring it with you. I won't say no.
Well, I mean, I didn't ask you to, but you've been carrying it this whole time.
They will leave that with Kevin and just once again they start making their way just making their way off again. And this time you can just fucking go figure. I love you, Dice. Ah yes, you can hear the as they walk off, just let's see if I can remember it. Baba black sheep, Baba black sheep, have you any wool?
Like,
That's their thing. Is they'll pop up, be a great butler, and then walk off singing creepy fucking nursery rhymes. Oh, yay! They're gonna do the same thing to Beatrice and Sin. Beatrice gets alerted to it when Sin just.
Over. Then she's going to give a polite smile.
I hope you don't mind, but I brought you some. And he'll hold up a very small plate what looks like two. And this is fucking meticulous buttling. You can see it. It's a single plate with two servings, two different forks, and not a single little tiny gram of these slices of cobbler are touching. I've brought you some peach cobbler with cinnamon butter and honey. If you'd like a midnight snack that's heading to sleep.
Well, that sounds delightful.
Certainly.
And
Just
she will accept the plate. And of course,
yeah,
such.
I love this fucking butler so much. Oh, once more as he walks off, just Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. He's just fucking delightfully creepy.
It's like he's an absolute master of a butler, and of course, then he has to be creepy afterward. Beatrice isn't too creeped out; she's just a little curious. Got that head tilt thing going on as he heads away.
All right.
Just hope he doesn't start
Ruined.
singing London Bridges.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of creepy.
That,
Alright.
Alright, who's the maiden we're killing? It's-
And so Beatrice will happily hear that compliment.
Ah, yes. I
I kinda
love
like
how he's
the
gonna wake
idea
you up.
that Beatrice is slightly immune to creepiness.
Sin just fucking the creepy singing doesn't bother him. It's the fact that he literally he had just after Beatrice went into the room, he had stepped in and went to close the door. When he turned around, he seen them standing there with that smile.
it's one of those ones you just stop exactly what you're doing and just stare for a minute. It's like, oh no.
Alright. Yes, yes, the morning song is equally creepy. I love it. Everybody has sweet dreams. Actually, that was all part of Mirzan's plan. He gave you the delicious food. Murnaz's plan, excuse me. And Murnaz's plan was to give you delicious food that was kind of, sort of packed with, uh, I guess you say
Sugar?
buffs.
Ah,
Feel a lot relaxed today. No worries.
this is where
They might have been slightly medicated to make you, lose all the tension you've had.
He's too good. It's creepy.
You feel relaxed
Yes,
and stress-free. This is not relaxing. I'm stressing out.
just can hear him walking down the hall singing. It's raining, it's pouring. The old man is snoring. He bumped his head on top of the bed and he couldn't get up in the morning. I guess just the
Naibai just burst out of the room. Does someone need medical assistance?
oh, good morning. Did you enjoy your yogurt last night?
Just kind of slides down half of the door frame. Yeah.
There are fresh clothes waiting for you in just changing room. He'll just slowly lift Naibai to her feet and set her upright before dusting her off. And he knows a lot of nursery rhymes that I may or may not have packed into his stat sheet.
Naibai will thank them and kind of wobbly room. Didn't do a demon dance today. Not used to this. They aren't used to waking up relaxed. They're used to being like stiff.
It's not a bad thing, but what?
And make sure you stretch and stuff before you relax.
Naibai spent some time in the army. There is no time for stretch.
There is only time for pain.
There is only follow orders and sleep. Oh, they're pulling out the bug assault.
The bug assault.
I heard a plastic racking.
Oh, that was me. I have a salad.
Oh. So you're gonna do all this right in front of your
Happened
salad?
in the morning, and she'll dress in whatever clothing happens to be set aside for her. She enjoys getting to try new.
They are very pretty, comfy, themed, comfy clothes, morning clothes, and they are they're just all so soft. They kind of make
Why is the internet this way?
In a little bit here, yeah.
She's very happy about how soft and comfy they are.
I did try to fill your days, the session with mundane stuff. You know that way, Fiona and them don't feel like they missed too much.
They missed a lot. What are you talking about? We learned
Yeah, I
so
know, but
much.
like you learn that Mob is actually a very calm person, most like 90% of the time. Just he's just walking down the hall. Good morning, everyone.
Anya.
I slept wonderful. I have a single sore in my body. Though I must say that Naz was quite sudden coming to offer me a brownie.
So that's what he does.
I'll lose.
No, Bank, you're so silly. You know that.
Naibai will push one hand on their cheek, and their other cheek will also squish like there's a hand on it. Stick their tongue out a
May I pet your ear because you're so cute? They will very gently pet the ear a few times and then stop. Because Mob is aware of the erogenous nature of a Lepanada's ears.
Naibai will little as they straighten up, bounce on.
That
Oh,
sounds adorable.
Naibai is the sweetest bun. I'd keep saying this. The sweetest little bioweapon you ever did see.
exactly.
Well, and nothing's gonna happen as long as you don't shoot them with a mortar.
Yeah, I think you're trying to avoid that.
I try and avoid that too.
Honestly, though, yeah, that's a good thing to avoid in general.
Kevin, did you sleep well?
Quite.
Oh, Yandra. Scared the hell out of me. Just the tall, lightless human. It's very weird seeing her without her robes. Notice that Yandra has very long, it's kind of pretty, but it's wispy hair. It's like a, it doesn't go everywhere, mind you, but it's got like that sort of pseudo-transparent color of snow to it. She's got that very pale skin. It doesn't look like, it's not so much as like well, it's close, it's very albino-like, but you can see that there's like an actual physical lack of melanin of some kind in their skin.
Wait, so they're pink?
Uh, they're more like a white gray color. They look ghostly.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause, a complete lack of melanin would be kind of like this milky pinkish hue. Very unhealthy looking.
Pepto-human.
Yeah.
Are you all doing well this morning?
Beatrice is going to nod and smile quite contentedly.
Naibai
She
will
had
bring up
very
their
good
stats screen. Yes.
What are they?
They're literally checking their health bar and stats.
Let's not be our host waiting on us. Then that. Up. Then this mom tries to avoid pregnant. You too, Mob. Centaurs are still susceptible. Come, Kevin.
He will wander. He will follow.
She spends like 98% of her time wearing those black ass robes. Just and then I was completely unaware that our instructor had a hourglass figure.
She is very pretty.
Was that? Gee, don't open him. Yeah, sure. Anybody else get bitched about a creepy butler last night and get offered sweets that they may or may not have taken?
So who was who was that? Faraji?
Yes, because he's just, he's trying to leave himself some leniency.
This is where everybody denies having taken the sweets, because he totally took the sweets.
Well, if
Gotta tell you right now.
I ordered the sweets before else though.
Regardless, probably one of the best damn ice creams I've ever had. It's very creamy though. Tastes like it was fresh from a cow. Weird, because I didn't see any cow people. Yeah. Eh. One time, brain, that you want to be deductive.
Is he failing at deduct?
No, he succeeded at it, and that's why he's
Ah.
upset that his one time that his brain is reasoning very quickly and very apt.
I think this is a little bit delayed to be quick reasoning. If it was quick, he would have realized as soon as he saw the ice cream.
One does not
Listen, they
question
could
this.
have had. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what he was thinking. Was shit? It's ice cream and a cone, and it's got little freaking pieces of nuts and chocolate on it. Hell yeah!
And he's just like, okay, nom nom.
Burn
I
ass
can
is a very
see that being Faraji too.
right. One does not simply look a gift ice cream cone in the mouth.
If your ice cream cone has a mouth, you need to ask more questions.
You don't
It's
ask
like-
questions, it's ice cream.
You don't ask questions when it
like,
comes to free sweets, Kevin.
Just get in the van.
You're all just walking along, and haven't seen Bonnie this morning though.
Beatrice wonders if she's already training.
Nibeyes wonders if they had anything prepared for breakfast.
Oh yes, you can smell it. It's almost like these breakfasts were specifically set out as meals for you individually. Because when you gravitate towards your seats, there's already something you were kind of sort of craving sitting there.
Well, Beatrice is once again delighted.
Did somebody's seat have a whoopee cushion on it?
Jones.
My apologies. I seem to have a squeaky seat. No, but as you're sat down for breakfast, then you'll get that good morning from the end of the table.
Morning.
Hi. Oh wait. Good morning.
You get to see Bonnie's mom not dressed up nicely like a fucking lady, and they're just comfortably sitting in those comfy morning clothes. Then you realize she's small, but Jesus Christ, she's stacked.
Hey, like a baby.
That's good.
Well, I suppose that's not accurate. Babies don't sleep all that.
No, they don't. Speaking, they
They-
don't very much sleep at all. Not wine or piss or shit. They'll just kind of snap, and there's the fucking fucking clockwork. There's Mernez with a fresh pitcher of coffee. Coffee one.
I would be glad.
Would you believe I haven't had the opportunity to try this? I've heard a lot about it, though.
And look, Mernez makes the best everything. Breakfast. I was brave enough to attempt it. Have some coffee. There you go. We'll get to see what that coffee does next week.
I think Naibai would like their coffee the way I like it. Cream and sugar with coffee in it.
That's the only way to drink coffee. It's not because it's nasty, it's just because it's a good base for delicious sweet stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about. Coffee, gross. The only way I could stomach it if it's covered in like other stuff.
I too like my coffee 90% creamer. Yeah. Just keep pouring it. You don't stop pouring the coffee creamer until it goes from black to chocolate milk. Then
Yeah, I
keep
generally
pouring.
go for a latte myself.
I
Yellow.
want it to look like a mixed caramel baby. Yeah, that's light brown. I like it. Just fucking filled up to the brim. It's like, there's some coffee in there. Pours like, okay, that's enough. Like a little tiny sliver, and then just fills the rest with coffee creamer. Yeah. I know. One of my friends I talk to all the time on fucking Discord. That's how they like their coffee. It's like it's not. They don't put coffee creamer in their coffee. They put coffee in their coffee creamer.
Isn't
Well,
it
I
just
mean-
like flavored half and half milk?
Basically, it's some shit like that. Just like
So like, just make some more milk and then pour a coffee creamer sized cup of coffee into it.
just like
Oh, that would make sense.
They should do that. They should make coffee creamer packs of just coffee.
You just
Yeah,
accidentally add coffee creamer to your coffee to your coffee.
basically what I have is a latte, which is hot milk with some coffee in it.
I like cappuccinos myself. Basically the same thing as a latte.
And caramel macchiato is where it's at.
I have never had a caramel macchiato from anywhere.
You should. Next time you're in town, you should get one. They're good. I recommend them chilled or iced, rather.
Hey, what? If you pay for it, I'll get it.
Gladly. I think you'll like it. It's sweet
Alright.
and also just a little kick of
Alright,
bitter in
fine.
the background.
Some point tonight, you need to send me the funds because I'll forget to ask tomorrow.
Okay,
I know
I'll
I-
make it happen.
I know I will because I'm gonna be playing Monster Train all day tomorrow.
When you gonna play Monster Hunter with?
I don't know when I fucking get an exorbitant amount of money to buy the same game over and over again. There's no time soon. That's right. All right.
Those opportunities await you.
Alright, I'm ending this recording.
Good.
Oh,
You
good on
Yeah.
didn't sleep, Fox. You required the slumber for work.
I don't. I wanna go to work. Want to pour dicks.